Game of Thrones at Comic-Con again, Hall H. How crazy was it?
I got on stage and I turned to John Bradley and I said, this is very surreal, because it is, and it's the most amount of people I've ever been in front of paying attention to me anyway. I've done theatre where I'm in front of 2,000 people, but I've never spoken like that with so many people, and it's quite sort of touching that people would consider what I say and others in our panel say important enough that they'll turn up in those quantities. So yeah, it was great.
How good is it to be on the panel with Michelle and Richard after basically a historic episode of television?
It's sad. Like, I mean, I feel like me and Rich are going for a drink. Me and Rich and Michelle are going for a drink later, and it's going to be the last time we really sort of interact with them in this form, probably. And that's, yeah, it'll be a proper goodbye. I mean, we said goodbye to them in the show, and now we'll be saying goodbye to them publicity-wise. So, yeah, they'll be my friends for a long, long time, I think.
Now, luckily, you're still alive on the show. But
just.
This is true. This is true. He came back to Castle Black a little worse for wear.
Yeah.
Some arrows in him.
Really bad hangover.
Here's what some people want to know. A lot of fans had to seek therapy after the Red Wedding. Can Game of Thrones get worse? Can they still continue to shock people?
I think so. Yeah. I think you don't want it with TV and with novels and with literature. You don't want to shock people too often, because the shocks then lose their value, and so we're always wary of that. But the big shocks come in the books, so we know where they are, we know what happens. But yeah, the Red Wedding was the biggest shock yet, and I'm glad it had the impact we wanted it to. Even though that's a bit mean to say, I mean, it makes the show what it is, killing important people and shocking people in that way.
Shows how meaningful it was. So listen, your character, really, he betrayed not only a woman, not only a wildling, but a redhead. What can you tell us about season 4? Is she going to be after vengeance? I mean, she's a redheaded wildling. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she is going to be after vengeance. She just walked past and nodded. She was like, "Yeah, I am." Yeah, I mean, John's doesn't always make the smartest decisions. He had to make that decision, and you question his sort of, question him if he didn't end up getting with her, because I mean, you can see his appeal to her, and so I'm glad he did. But it's one of those things: you sleep with someone one time, and then they shoot you with arrows. It's like life, right?
It only takes one time. There could be a little baby Jon Snow out there getting ready to form in the world.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a great plot twist?
Who knows? That might be a plot twist.
Yeah.
Can't say, but yeah.
So you have a movie you've been working on in Toronto called Pompeii.
I have.
So tell us a little bit about that. It must be so fun to play a gladiator.
It was. It's more throwing swords about, so I'm used to that, but in a different form, in a different environment, and in a very different type of project. It was a lot of fun. It was very, very tough, physically and emotionally, and I think you're going to love it. I think it's going to be aesthetically beautiful, and also it'll be a fun movie.